in them 5-star tellies saying 2 mic rhymes. Be them average MCs of the times. Unlike them, we craft gems. So systematically inclined to pen lines without saying the producer's name all over the track. Yeah, I said it. What you need to do is get back to reading credits. Read the medics alphabetically, stuck on that English shit. Now, before that short shot, pure rock, okay, flow.
From the top of the key for 3 villain. Been on in the game as long as he can really swing. Turn the corner spinning, bust that ass and get up. Dust off the mask, whoever laugh, give him a head up. He got jumped, it pumped his adrenaline. He said it made him tougher than a bump of raw medicine. To write all night long, the hourglass is still slow. Flow from hellborn to free.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Punchmans Report. My name is Rusty Seabutter.
I'm Jimmy Burrito.
And we're coming at you with that energy this week. We're full of it because we got a week off. We've been on the Bahamas. Really, I've been in Texas. It's not much like the Bahamas other than it's hot. Full of mosquitoes.
It's hot here today.
It is hot here today. But Monday was beautiful. And it was the harbinger of the greatest season of all, the fall. Got football. Got barbecue.
Is it the greatest coach, too?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you know, so I circulated a survey, and any of you all listening haven't filled out the survey, you should go do it. You should go find the ping that I made. You click that little @ thing in Discord, and it'll tell you anytime you get pinged. And I pinged you, and I said fill out a survey, because we got our finale episode coming up next week, and I want to talk about your survey questions. But, you know, fall was mentioned as one of the best coaches, so maybe you're not too far off.
I definitely didn't look at that in advance.
No, we're not doing that this week. But I wanted to get out in front and give people time to answer. We got like 12 people back already. People are engaged. It's good. You guys are the best. So as a reward for being the best, you're going to get a very short episode this week. Most of the playoff pictures are kind of solved at this point. There's really not a lot of consequence happening at this left, so we're going to kind of run through. We'll look at the scores real quick. We're not going to do any spotlights because we're going to do a full round of everybody for the finale show. And then we'll talk about the standings and what the finals are going to be, who's probably getting relegated, who's moving up, who's going to playoffs. And, yeah, I don't know. We'll probably do something else too. Oh, and we'll make some picks to close it out. But quick picks.
Oh, maybe we could look at the leaderboards. Not the leaderboards, the, what's it called? The Hall of Fame. We'll see if we have time.
Yeah. Well, we can save it. We could do. Maybe we'll do that this week. Maybe we'll do that next week. Who knows?
We'll see.
I'm definitely. There will be awards next week, so definitely tune in. I don't know why I say that because it's on YouTube. You can tune in whenever you want. You should tune in on time.
Tube in.
Yeah, tube in and tube out. Drop out.
School. Don't do that.
Yeah. How was your game this week?
It was okay. It was good. I lost, but it was like a Pyrrhic victory.
Going the other way.
But in reverse. Because I got some good levels, including Havarti. Got his penultimate level.
Yeah. And I heard he got a good roll out of it, too.
Yeah, it's a doozy. Yeah, so I got some good levels, but I lost the game. But that's okay, because I'm still in playoff contention in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you definitely are. I had a good week. Played Derkanon and his Kimry. I think he doubled me in blocks. He doubled me in armor breaks. He 7-doubled me in removals. I couldn't remove anybody all game.
Yeah.
And I won. And I think I had 18% ball possession.
How did you do it?
Well, I played some sound defense.
What is the secret to your success?
Tough D and running the ball and throwing good passes, even if the jerks can't catch it. But I did get 3 points on my new blitzer, so he's only another 3 points away from finally getting a skill after 5 games. So, you know, it's things are looking up. I think all of my Black Orcs are within like 10 points of like level 5 and 6, so that's great too. So now it's just surviving until the end of the year. Come back strong.
All right. Well, enough about you REL3 people.
Yeah. Let's talk about some fearsome people in the Fearsome Fives.
Fearsome for vibes.
And then we'll go to the floorboards. I'm just trying to work with what you're giving me.
Flashing lights. Flashing lights. Flashing lights.
Because I couldn't remember which one's the fearsome one.
Well, you know who the fighting one is, because you win it.
Oh, see, I said fearsome 4s anyway, though.
All right, so we're actually missing a couple games, but we can still tear through this. Creeps and Cogs of War have not played yet, and Doom Anvils and Korn's Glory. So where should we start there, Jimmy?
Let's start with Thunderstrike's 1-2 loss to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street keeps on plugging away. Thunderstrike keeps on thunderstriking, getting MVPs on Hobgoblins. Very nice MVP on the Elusive Man. God, I forgot about the Elusive Man. He's been around forever.
Yep.
Got that nice niggle he's carrying, too.
52 matches for Elusive Man.
And he had 22 armor breaks for old Wolf Ramajax in this one. On 42 blocks, which is pretty great especially against Dark Elves. Couldn't turn it into a win. It just looks like he got 2-1 grinded on quick scores.
Yeah, sure does. Quick scores, yeah.
Yeah, two turns, 38% or 37% ball possession. That's pretty much two turns. So I guess he couldn't stop him. Wolf Ramajax, ate up his requisite ball possession, got his score, which is great. Got a couple injuries out of it. Three Kaz on 42 blocks. Not the best, not the worst, but an okay SPP take. 14 SPP on his side.
Do you reckon he did a one-turn touchdown?
Who?
Or do you think he
Nightmare on Elm
forced?
Street?
Yeah, or do you think he forced Wolf Ramajax to score too soon?
I think on 37% ball possession, that is 4 turns of possession, I believe.
Yeah.
Because I think 18 is a 2-turner.
So he made him score on turn 6 or something.
Something like that, yeah. So I think he forced him to score quick enough. I'm not actually entirely sure how the math boils out, because if he 2-turned in the first half, 36%. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they can chime in and let us know what happened here.
Yeah,
But,
I guess it doesn't necessarily add up because you don't have to have picked up the ball.
It's true. But it's neither of these wins have any effect on the playoff picture. It's just about positioning for the upcoming season and feeling good.
And development.
Yeah, and getting that development and a decent earn, I think, on both sides. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, big level on each team. Witch Elf Drusilla picked up Sidestep on 3rd level, and Thunderstrike leveled up a blocker.
Which he's been desperate to do, yeah.
Yeah. Did he roll doubles? I'm going to take a quick look. Because if he did not. He rolled Mighty Blow. That's okay.
That's a fine level. Block, tackle, Mighty Blow. Can't go wrong. All right, should we jump on to the next?
Yep. Next up is a doozy. 4-0 win for We Chillin' over Gambas Gals. Serrano getting 4 touchdowns, 5 expulsions in this game.
Yeah, and I'm told that Gamba lost it at the end of this game a little bit and just started going after Hertz.
A little tilty.
Yeah, a little tilty. He was trying to punish, and of course, Dark Elves are a hard team to punish.
Yeah.
Especially with Amazons. So I think it got out of hand when he started ignoring the ball, and he was able to run the score up on him. But strong close. Nah, I guess this isn't his close. You got one more game to go. But strong, more cement on the cement pile of your playoff appearance, Mr. Arno. 35 blocks to 29, which is probably about right with Amazons versus now the 12% ball possession. That's probably the tail of the tape right there. For old Gamba, our founder. And another solid game for We Chillin'. In terms of SPP, we chillin' coming out. I mean, when you score 4 times, you're going to have a good SPP day. Man, Morgan Thorg stealing 2 of the points off of Gamba's Gal, so that's a roughie.
Yeah. That's okay.
There was a Morgan Thorg in this game. Any notable injuries or level ups in this one?
Yeah, death on a rookie elf, so that's no big deal. And a leveled lineman, level pending. And then the thrower got the MVP for Gamba's Gals and leveled up, level pending for her as well.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, and that is still pending. Nush Nush. Which is a great thrower, great piece. Hopefully you got something good off that. 3 expulsions to 2 expulsions. So yeah, this was a chippy one, as they like to say.
Yeah. Foully. Little foully.
All right. Who we got next?
Next up we got Frozen Dead North 2-0 win over You Worship Chaos. This is a good result for the Frozen Dead North.
Yeah. Gaskell's had a pretty competitive season. 23 armor breaks on his side versus 13, which typically for Norse is a pretty good. That's some pretty good math. 63 blocks to 26 blocks, more than doubling.
Yep. Lots of removals though. They were effective. Those blocks. What's the dice workout for injuries versus armor break?
It doesn't look like any deaths, but were there any substantial injuries?
Armor bust on Cadaver Tails, which is the white, which is a bummer, and a move bust on a Flesh Golem, which is not ideal, but not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I'd
say
then
that white injury is.
Yeah. They're both killer, but it's the guard one though. It's not ideal, but he's still serviceable for now.
Is he still young? I can't remember how many levels that dude had.
He's got 37 SPP, 3 levels.
No, I think you ride that for a while.
Yeah. You just turn him into your blitzer, and I know you got Finnegan to be blitzing, but you can get Pylon on him and just let him come to his natural conclusion with Cadaver Tails. And then just miss next games for the Norse.
Yeah, 25% ball possession for the Norse in this game, despite the handy removals. Only 40 yards rushing and a pass thrown in for good measure, just a little 4-yarder. But 106 for Frozen Dead North. It's hard to draw a conclusion, but it looks like he took away the Chaos's drive. I'm guessing on a key block.
Yeah.
That would be my read on these numbers, having not seen this game.
Yeah, injuries were 50% in this game for both teams.
Oh, in terms of breaks versus...
In terms of just injury rolls.
Oh, right.
So you roll
From
your
the injury.
It's 50%. Kaz.
Brutal. Yeah, 4 KOs and 1 injury for Frozen Dead North to 5 and 4 for You Worship Chaos. That is, those are nice numbers. Off 63 blocks with no claw. Oh, I know. Actually, he might have. Does his Yeti have claw? I bet it does.
They start with claw. They don't have mighty blow.
Right.
He does have block, mighty blow, claw, break, tackle, and juggernaut though. So.
So he's pretty good.
So he's pretty good.
Gaskell's got a nice
handle.
little toy there.
No suspicious mutations. The Yeti.
Oh, and a nice little MVP on Donovan Molly too. Really, any non-zombie MVP is a good MVP for the old.
Yeah, something people will stay up at night thinking about.
how to minimize.
How to not get it as zombie MVPs, but also have a zombie bench.
All right. I know who we got next because I watched this one. I watched this last night.
Oh, can we do it? We can tie versus our scope team.
Yeah, I tuned in on this one because I wanted to do a quick check. Again, apologies for missing the show last week, everybody. I was traveling, and it's just been a busy week. Started a new job last week. So, haven't had much time to watch games, but I went and checked to see what the most notable impacts to the schedule were, and this was a big one. This actually keeps Spirit Crusher in the mix, and we'll talk about that a little more in a second. but McMackey getting tied here by Ars Godia. This was a hell of a game. As you can probably see by 19 armor breaks to 18 armor breaks in favor of Ars Gotia on about 41 to 42 blocks apiece.
Yeah, so basically just trading blows and getting equal returns.
Yeah, and Ipos lived up to his all-star status. He had a hell of a game. As a team, Ars Godia netting 5 KOs, 5 injuries, and a kill versus 3 KOs and 3 injuries on the Kimry side. But let me pull up my notes real quick. This was actually a very fun game, and I would recommend anybody go watch it. As far as a tie goes, it's hard to do worse. It was definitely a 1-1 grind. Both teams scored on their drives. Oh yeah, so the game kicks off with a rock to the head. Nothing bad coming off of it. And then basically a brawl at midfield. McMackey does a good job containing the goats initially, but then kind of opts to focus a bunch of his dudes on fouling Ipos, which isn't necessarily a bad strategy. Yeah. But it did let Ars Gotia reverse very cleanly. They basically did a reverse sweep and were able to seal the Kimry almost completely off to the point where they kind of stopped attempting to pursue. Even managed to put a level on his baby Agi goat. He has that goat with Agi Plus and no other levels. He got a level on him on that touchdown. While Ipos was getting fouled every single turn, he eventually got up from being fouled and jumps up, hits Babetta, the Tomb Guardian, and niggles him. So, again, good reason that Ipos was on the ground getting fouled almost the entire first half. In the second half, McMackey starts out strong, then loses a Palmer. It gets kind of punished because he puts the Palmer back behind on those initial lineman hits. He sweeps him around to get a hit from behind and leaves him out there. And he gets fouled off the field, so that's a Palmer off for him. He then really kind of steadily removes goats as he reverses, and then kind of disaster strikes as Immortal Ivan, another Tomb Guardian, is not so immortal and draws both a minus strength and a death. McMackey responds by fouling out Ipos, who gets pro-stratted back into the game in what was a really bloody game and a very ballsy move by Zazeta. Numbers dwindle, and McMackey starts to kind of run tight on time, and then makes a strong late move up the left side. Positions very well. In fact, it's almost kind of a master class in Kimry positioning control blocks on Zeta. Zeta still manages to fight through it, through a million rerolls, real and natural, to get a shot at the ball, and gets the double block. So the thrower does not go down. Gets the hit with a free skeleton. He ties the game, and that's that. Also of note, McMackey risked losing the game on a greed hit on turn 16, which seemed almost more like a respect hit than a greed hit. Like, when I was watching it, I'm like, McMackey's not that greedy. I think that's like a sign of respect to Zazeta and Ars Godia for a extremely good game by both of these teams. Unfortunately, it actually puts, I think a win here would have locked up playoffs for Kimry Do It Yes We Can. But Ars Godia not only makes his playoff picture a little bit murkier, he has permanently, there's 2 Tomb Guardians out for the next game. One of them out forever, and the other's got a niggle, which on a Tomb Guardian's pretty troubling with decay. Yeah. So yeah, fantastic.
Especially with only guard.
Yeah, relatively young Tomb Guardian, but no one's got money to buy 2 Tomb Guardians back, so I think he's going to have to ride out the niggled one for a minute. I don't have his money up in front of me. But yeah, great game. Good SPP day on both sides. I don't know, anything else you want to touch on here from the injuries or levels?
So he did replace one of the Tomb Guardians, so the dead one is repurchased, and he's got 10k left after that, so not going to be able to rebuy the 4th one, but that's okay. And then the only level is Ars Gotia's wrestle goat that you had mentioned, Vipar.
Yeah.
And he picked up wrestle.
What a jerk. Wrestle's a jerk skill.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna be a great ball sacker someday when he grows up, big and strong.
We all hope to be great ball sackers one day.
Some of us are already great.
Yeah. All right. Who we got next?
Next up, we got 2-1 win for Rotherham Rockers over Flingin' Fun.
Yeah, and while I did not get to watch this one, this is a pretty significant win. You would expect Nurgle would beat Halflings, but Mr. Christie's always trouble.
Yeah, look at these big man MVPs too.
Yeah, it's a nice MVP day level for Deep Root, and
multi-block.
Oh, he did. Nice. And then Amy Swinehouse, a pretty important MVP.
Yeah.
For an up-and-coming Beast of Nurgle. Now only 3 points away, so you just gotta get that touchdown with the Bond.
Yeah. I've done it.
Yeah, it's been done. That video is up somewhere if anyone wants to see it, of Jimmy scoring a Bond touchdown. He eats the ball. Surprisingly low block numbers for the Nurgle. 19 getting outblocked by the Halflings, as Mr. Christie is prone to do to these bash teams.
Yeah.
25
just
to 19.
Run away.
Yeah, just run away. Now, 19 blocks, he managed to get 6 injuries and a kill. And a KO to boot, versus 6 KOs and a kill. On Mr. Christie's side, 2 expulsions to none. So some good boot work up in the mix there. Anything else notable or jump out to you?
Poor Morgenthor made a second appearance in this game, but took an armor bust. That's fine. And then there's a death, and it's just a rookie halfling, so that's all right. And then the death for Rottingham Rockers was a Dirty Play Rotter. There's only one, so that's a kind of a unfortunate loss, but he was about to get his second level, so you were looking to recycle him anyway, I'm sure.
Yeah, nice for everybody else.
Yeah, some good SPP on Nurgle Warriors, though, including 4 Kaz. So that's good.
Yeah, look
and
at that.
2 Kaz on Shreddy Mercury. So is well positioned.
But Shreddy Mercury, I guess, also getting the touchdown to wind up with 7
Yep.
overall SPP.
7
Very
SP,
nice.
Yeah, without the MVP, getting 7. So it's a good haul.
Yeah, and Rottingham Rockers still right there in the playoff hunt. So maybe that's a good segue for us to pop on over and take a look at the leaderboards.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey yo, I'm gonna be on tit out. That's all my eyes can see. Victory is mine, yeah, surprisingly. I've been laying, waiting for your next mistake. I put in work and watch my status escalate.
And here we are. The crystals have almost fully formed. You're almost ready to take your science project back into school. Show your teacher that you could leave it in the fridge long enough. I actually don't know how making crystals works at all. You're the scientist.
I don't think you need a fridge.
I thought you needed a fridge. Probably not.
Oh, it depends. Depends on what kind of crystals you're growing.
True. But yeah, so CR, as we know, and I guess we've known for some time, locked in to a playoff spot, cannot lose it at this point. He's sitting pretty, which really leaves, at this point, a 2-team challenge to get the last spot. Now, Draenor, our old friend from previous seasons, was nice enough to send me some playoff percentages.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it like 90% McMackey?
Yeah.
90% Spirit Crusher?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling up to it right now. It is 93.921% for McMackey, leaving Spirit Crusher a 6.079% chance to steal it.
Yeah, looking at the leaderboard, he would need to win and win by 4 or more.
4 or more, as Nurgle.
As Nurgle to take the tiebreaker, because right now the touchdown differential for the Rockers is 7 and it's 10 for the McMackey. So he's got to win by a lot to to get both of those and steal it.
Now, McMackey could lose by a lot to help him out.
That's true.
Could lose by like 2 or even 3, and then really he's only got to win by 2. If McMackey loses by 2, then I guess they're tied, and then they go to other tiebreakers, whatever they're. I can't remember what their head-to-head. I would assume their head-to-head was either a tie or a win for McMackey, because McMackey has yet to lose.
I think head-to-head is the third tiebreaker. I forget what the other one is.
Oh, I thought it was second. But yeah, I don't know.
I was reading it last week. I forgot.
I think it might be wins. Like net wins.
Most wins, yeah.
It's, after TD differential, something like that. But again, if one wins and the other loses, they would have identical records. So yeah, I don't know. It could go, in theory, to head-to-head. I wish that was higher in the order. That's just my own feeling.
This is one of those meme arguments that Metal hates having the argument for, but
I know.
that's how they do it in the NFL. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Well, we don't have division records, right? Because everything's a division record.
It is TD differential, then loss record, the least losses wins, then head-to-head comparison.
Okay. So
and
yeah, in
if it's
that
still
case,
tied there. It's coin friendly into a coin toss.
I'm just gonna look real quick and see
If what their head-to-head was.
Yeah. That was McMackey's win. So yes, Spirit Crusher will
Even
have
more
to win.
favorited.
Yeah, he'll have to win on touchdown differential in order to make it in. So he's got to win by 3, and McMackey's got to lose by 2. I'd say that's the path to victory. And then we got everybody else. Big solid group. This is a remarkable division in terms of its parity. Again, if you looked all the way down, the Cogs of War is somehow in 10th. Which is crazy, because they were one of the last teams to be in playoff contention just a week or two ago. But, you know, even a loss... How many teams is this in the middle? From Ars Godia down to Cogs of War is basically... Until Castlevania Creeps and Cogs of War play, their game is basically the same. If they tie, then it's exactly the same across the middle. And then you get into the relegation range, which it looks like, as of this time, Mr. Christie is on the right side of. With Korn's Glory, Thunderstrike, and Gamba's Gals at risk of moving back down to 6.
Oh, I see. So there's a different. I've been looking at the RebelNet listing and the in-game listing, because Cogs of War is 9th on RebelNet. It's because it's not up to date.
They just play.
Sorry. Their Nightmare on Elm Street's game played, but is not updated on here.
So it looks like even if Korn's Glory loses, they're actually tied with Mr. Christie. So this last week for Flinging Fun and Korn's Glory is actually pretty important. Yeah. I also think Wolf Ramajax, if he can get a win in this last week, who's he I guess we'll see. We'll look at picks here in a minute. He's playing Cogs of War, which is not a great one if you're trying not to get relegated. It's a tough team to beat, especially as Chorfs. But yes, if he pulls off a win there and there's ties.
I guess, keep in mind, I don't know if the games are getting played or not, but Cogs of War hasn't played his Week 12 match yet either.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, that's and Castlevania Creeps. That's why they're at 5-2 and 4, whereas the next 3 up are at 5-3 and 4.
Right.
So they're
so
playing.
This could, and Korn's Glory and Doom Anvil's the other game that haven't played yet. So I mean, it could shake up.
It could shake up. Yeah. Doom Anvils could lose or win or tie, and that would affect Korn's Glory substantially. But we'll see. But it's not. I think my main point is that everybody in relegation, except for perhaps Gamba, I think has a path out. They can all fight to be on the right side of the bubble, so meaningful games, at least on that end of the spectrum, all the way around. I think Cogs of War and up in the schedule are safe and are at least returning to 5 next year, if not moving up, due to attrition in the higher divisions, because there are a larger number than usual of re-rolling teams in the upper divisions being like 3 and up. And probably
I've been
4,
worried about it.
honestly. I know, well, we'll get to 4, but there's at least 1 confirmed reroll in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a few confirmed so far.
All right.
And who knows? They may change their minds.
They might. Who knows? It's a secret sauce, and no one knows how it's made. It's like the formula for Coca-Cola. Except it's a formula Herring's-Odd and Metal use to determine your fates. Who knows what it is? But hold on to your butts. All right. Anything else you want to touch on here with the leaderboards?
Nah, I think that's good.
And our penultimate. Speaking of penultimate episode.
That's right.
All right. Let's go make some picks.
They took an L, but you're not a bounce back, boy. I've been broke as hell, catch the check and bounce back. D-Town LAX, every week I bounce back. If you a real one, then you know how to bounce back.
All right, and who we got first here?
First up, Rottingham Rockers versus Castlevania Creeps.
Yeah, and this is a big one. This is,
tough one to have to depend on for your playoff spot.
Well, and this he's going to have to beat. Now, what's interesting to me here is if you think of teams that Nurgle could beat by 3 touchdowns, an imploding vampire team, like a bad Dice Day vampire team, could certainly be one of them.
Yeah.
So I think the potential's there, but SFG Sam, which incidentally, he got
good at mitigating those implosions.
He is. I've actually never seen a more reliable vampire team than the way he plays his, and we've covered some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Shiggy last year? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also of note, this is another guy that got a lot of votes as best coach in the division. So yeah, big game. Who you liking in it?
It's a tough call. I think I like the Rockers to win it just because of the motivation. Like I could see SFG Sam maybe doing a little preservation mode and not necessarily going for the throat on the scores.
Right, especially
But
because
who
it's
knows?
Nurgle.
Yeah. Maybe the spoiler position is more important than the surviving for SFG Sam, and then all bets are off. This is a tough team to try and preserve against.
It is.
If you're the Vamps.
Well, Spirit Crusher's been great all season. He's just, it looks like he's probably going to fall just shy of the bubble, just to, too many hurdles to get over here at the end of the season. But he's been very good coach, and a very long-standing coach, as I recall. But Sam has done a thing, and I think he's going to really relish the opportunity to play spoiler here, even if it's only like a minor spoiler. So I'll take the other side of it from you, and I'll take Sam and the Creeps.
Nice.
For the win this week. The big upset. Well, not that big an upset, but an upset nonetheless. All right, who we got next?
Next up, we got Ars Gotia versus Flinging Fun.
Man, I'm going to go ahead and take Mr. Christie in this one, even though I think Zeta's team has kind of finally come into its own. Like I think he's finally gotten over the hump on the development curve with the Chaos, which is a little rough in the middle there. And I think he's playing some of the best Blood Bowl I've seen him play. But that's when Mr. Christie gets you. When you're like, this team, they're going to wipe the floor with the halflings. And then what happens? You get outblocked 25-19. How about you?
I'm going to go with Ars Gotia. No frills. It's just a really killy Chaos team against a bunch of halflings. And I like these halflings, but Zeta's a good coach, and I think he'll be able to manage the flying ham sandwiches.
I'll say this too, and I'll say more about it in the finale show when we give out awards and stuff. But Larkstar gets a lot of attention on his halfling team, but he's not up here in Division 5 doing what Mr. Christie's doing up in Division 5. He's doing that against little baby teams, roughing them up, and everyone's like, ooh, Larkstar. But man, Mr. Christie is a tough halfling coach. As good as I think is in REL.
You hear that, Larkstar? He's calling you out.
That's right. You're not in my divisions. All right. Who's up?
Next up, we got Can We Do It versus You Worship Chaos.
This is a good game. This is a mean old Yeti.
This is a hell of a game to finish out the season if you can redo it.
Yeah, McMackey's, towards a very likely playoff run, really running into some of the worst teams for him to face going in. That Yeti is probably a fairly big problem.
Yeah, for sure. Against his busted Tomb Guardians.
I mean,
He is
got
gonna
three
be-
in this
He's
game.
going to be down to 3, yeah. One of them's a rookie.
I mean,
So-
a rookie Tomb Guardian's still pretty good. The guard isn't that important at like a level 2 one. Like, I don't think they really start making the jump until Stand Firm or Break Tackle starts getting in a mix. That's when they, I think, really they become difference makers a little more. The guard is never bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just less important.
Right.
I think McMackey is very sound, and I think he holds this down. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is an upset pull for you, Worship Chaos. And again, back to what we were saying, if you're looking at teams that maybe would hang a 2-0 loss on Can We Do It? Yes, We Can, in order to give the Rottingham Rockers a chance to win by 3 against Castlevania Creeps, this is not a bad one to pick.
Again, I think what you're playing for. I mean, I know technically McMackey has to win to seal up his position, but I think even if he loses his position, is pretty well in control. So I think just like keeping it to a 1-0 loss or something would be. Oh, you know what though? You Worship Chaos is missing both of his berserkers for this game.
Ah, see, that's why it's good that you got that
So
second screen
I
experience
said
going.
just a couple of mismix games, but those are important mismix games. Those are by far his best players. Mighty Blow piling on tackle on both of them, and then one guard, one diving tackle. So never mind. I'm gonna go with McMackey. That's a bit much to lose. He does have his 2 all-foreigners with guard, stand firm, block, and a really good Yeti. But other than that, just got a bunch of linemen with block. A couple of pieces here and there, but
It's true. And, McMackey has yet to lose this season. I think he's always a good pick. But I'm pulling for the drama. I'm pulling to see something amazing happen. I don't know if I'm pulling for it, but it would be... I'm at least laying out the scenario in which something dramatic could happen. Keep everyone tuning in.
you want to see the game go down to a tiebreaker, or to head-to-head.
To kicks. I wanted to go to kicks. Somehow. I don't even know how... That wouldn't really work. But yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess...
If they tied all the way to the friendly in the tiebreaker and it went down to kicks.
That would be awesome. Yeah. I don't think that can happen because they didn't tie in the head-to-head, but so
No,
be
they
it.
didn't. That's okay.
All right. Who we got next?
Next up is Coin's Glory versus Frozen Dead North.
And Corn's Glory, I think, is coming off a pretty good game. This last... Oh, no, they didn't play. Was it the week before? No, that was a 1-1 tie. I thought Corn's Glory messed somebody up recently, but I must be confusing them.
Could have been 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We missed a week, so who knows? Our sense of time and space is all
We're all
altered.
backwards.
But who you liking in this one?
This one I like Frozen Dead North. Coming off a big win. I think they got a lot going in their favor.
Yeah, and I feel like they've been in good form over the back half of this season. They struggled a little bit early on, if I'm remembering correctly. So I think I'm with you. I think that they've got the momentum. Any notable injuries on this one in terms of the matchup?
Let's take a look at the videotape. Armor bust on that white Cadaver Tails for Frozen Dead North. That's unfortunate. He'll be missing this game. And then Minotaur is going to be missing the game for Coin's Glory, which maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Although he is a block Minotaur, but still.
He's a block Minotaur? I think I missed that.
Yeah, guard block. I think he might have just got it recently. I don't
Nice.
know. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah.
it's still a Minotaur.
I mean, like he took block instead of, accurate or something. I don't know. Took block early on Coin's Glory.
To pass.
Could have taken
Catch.
sure hands.
Could have taken
Had a
catch.
ball carrier Minotaur.
Is a Minotaur Agi 2 or 1?
It's edgy too.
Yeah, could have taken catch.
We saw the ball carrier Minotaur in our side league.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it did
Animals.
exactly what you thought a ball
Yeah.
carrying Minotaur would do.
Blitz every turn to try and move all 5 movement, and then wild animal on the goal line in each of your rolls. Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Yep. All right. Who we got next?
Next up, we got game. Oh,
Nope. Nice
Nope.
try.
I skipped one. Next,
Smooth move,
Next up-
X-Lax.
next up, we got Doom Anvils versus We Chillin'.
Yeah, man,
Playing-
this is a
playing for
dangerous
nothing.
game. Yeah, this is a dangerous game for We Chillin'. Doom Anvils are a killbot team,
BattleBots.
and We Chillin' is just looking to playoffs, polishing up their dudes. What is the TV difference in this one?
It will be about 1650 to 1820 in favor of Doom Anvils having the higher.
That's actually pretty good for We Chillin'. You could squeeze in an extra APO. I don't know how they're doing on money.
170. He's over.
Yeah, I would take the APO and get some loner linemen and just stay away from them as much as possible. Even take whatever loss.
Bench the ladies.
Oh yeah. Keep the ladies on the bench or put them in the back corners of the end zone so they just get pushed out.
Yeah, he does have. He's at 11 players right now, so he could theoretically pick up 2 extra linemen and fluff that out a little bit, but
Maybe one bought extra lineman and one because it's like 30K more or something for the loner.
yeah,
Or the mercenary.
right.
And then maybe the extra APO on top of that, just to give yourself as much healthy cushion as possible.
Yeah, he's down a blitzer for this game, so he's actually at 10 players. So 1 loner will be given to him for free.
So I think I'll pick Doom Anvils here, just because if it was me playing We Chillin', I would be in full-on preservation mode thinking about the playoffs, because there's 0 benefit to trying to win this game, other than feeling cool. I do kind of feel like CR No doesn't think that way and might go balls to the wall and just want to finish with 10 wins, which is very impressive.
He does have a rookie blitzer at 3 of 6 that might be nice to get a level on him before the playoffs.
Yeah.
And a couple. He's got a 4-6 lineman and a 26-31 lineman. So he's got pieces that he could consider trying to boost before playoffs to get that level. But
he can still do that in a relatively protective stance.
yeah, I mean, you could keep that blitzer and that 4-6 lineman Laurel in the back by the end zone and just vanity pass to each other if you have players at that time.
Right. That doesn't mean you got to screen and get hit a little bit, at least for a minute to do it. But maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, it's chores. You just run away.
But I don't know if I'm curious to see how CR No approaches this one. 'Cause I kind of get the sense that he's not a coward like I am. Hugging his pixels, keeping them close.
It's not about the pixels. You're keeping yourself healthy for playoffs.
I know. I think he's got a real good run potential in this upcoming playoffs. So I'm very interested to see what happens.
Yep,
But yeah.
looking forward.
Did you make a pick? Are you picking Arno, or are you gonna go Doom Anvils?
I'm gonna go Arno. Yep. We're chilling.
Next up, we got Gamba's Gals and Nightmare on Elf Street. Who you liking here?
We'll see if the
It's kind of a repeat of last week.
infuriation. Yeah, it's another repeat. So I know you had that stretch of elves, and you were like towards the end, you were kicking yourself.
Well, it
You were
was.
going through the same thing.
I mean, I don't want to expound on my struggles with elves. I had that last one fucking won, and then they elfed me, and then I misclicked.
Okay,
Elves suck.
Mr. Success.
Yeah.
Two more of those excuses.
Yeah, I got a lot of excuses when it comes to elves. I don't know. Elves stink. I only got to make one play a game. I got to make every play.
So you can take elves or poor man's elves.
I think Gamba's probably phoning it in at this point. I'm just going to take Nightmare on Elm Street. They've been playing very well. He's a good coach. Not that Gamba's a bad coach. I just think Gamba's miserable. And maybe his heart's not in it. Could be wrong. Or maybe he wants to come out and, end on a high note. But either way, I think I'm going to take the old Nightmare on Elm Street. How about you?
Me too, for the same reasons.
All right. Who we got next?
Next up, we got a Dorf off. Thunderstrike vs. Cogs of War. Dorf.
Man, if I was Cogs of War, I would not be thrilled about this game. A meaningless game against Chorfs, who are a pretty not great mirror.
They are not a great mirror unless... Well, they're not a great mirror when they have a bunch of claw. But if you don't have a bunch of claw, it's not so bad.
But I thought he had kind of rebuilt... Let me just take a look real quick. I thought Wolf Ramajax had kind of built back some of his claw. Nope.
He's built back some of his Chorfs, but
has not.
Does not have any claw. So
Yeah.
his bulls are good, and they're fast, and they have block and break tackle and whatnot, but he doesn't have the claw. So it is just going to be like...
Yeah, he's massively outguarded. And no claw. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go. I think I picked the last one first, so you go ahead on this one.
Yeah, the one... So, again, Cogs of War seems to be 50% absentee games with his Troll Slayers. Marcus Phoenix is missing this game as well. His niggled, armor-busted Troll Slayer. I still think I'm going to take Cogs of War. Because he still has that block pylon Death Roller.
I think that is the right choice. I'm going to go with my heart.
Yeah.
Wolf Ramajax made this really nice video teaching people how to record videos and how to do recaps.
If I ever
And he's
have
fighting not to get relegated.
an hour and a half free time in the next year and a half or so, I'm going to watch that video and learn how to do it. Because
it was good.
it's something I want to at least know how to do, so that when I can't find time to do it, at least I'll be like, oh, but
now I know.
now I know.
No one's half the battle, like those funny G.I. Joe videos from a few years back.
Friendsler Films.
I'm gonna pick Thunderstrike just out of love. I don't really think he can win this, but I think he will.
He could win. It's just
At what cost?
it's going to be uphill, and it's going to be difficult if he's trying to get some development, which I think should be in the table for both teams here.
Yeah. I think so that does it for Division 5.
Yeah, it does.
All right, well, we're going to do a brief intermission. I have a semi-selfish highlight video to show you. It was from a game I played a couple weeks ago with one of my favorite coaches, Spoony Bard. It was very exciting, and we didn't talk about it last week because we didn't do a show. But I don't need to, because you can just watch what happened. It was a thrilling adventure in Rusty's career. So why don't you kick up your feet and enjoy the movie shows.
Yeah, I know. I gotta believe.
Believe
All right, and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the little intermission there. Because now we're gonna move on in to something a lot less enjoyable, and that is life in the Fighting Fours for everybody but Jimmy and Holes.
I don't. It's a lovely place here.
It is.
Enjoy your stay.
It is a graveyard of dreams and teams coming apart at the seams. You don't got the means to be up in these Fighting Fours. That's my slam poetry.
I was gonna say reams, but
Yeah, I ran out. I didn't really. At the end there, I was going off rhyme a little bit, but
Oh yeah.
yeah. Should we jump on in and take a look at some scoreboards?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Flashing lights, flashing lights, flashing lights.
Who we got first?
First up, we got Fallen Wonder. Oh no, that's no.
No, you're looking at the
First up.
wrong week.
We're gonna have the wrong week. First up, we got me, the Cricket Creamy versus Necro Newbies.
So you mentioned a little of this, yeah, but why don't you tell us what happened
Yeah.
in this one?
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago, so memory's a little hazy. But I think I was trying to win, but I think I was being a little too cute with it, and I just didn't set myself up in a position to really take advantage. So he did have a werewolf with Mighty Blow, and he had Wilhelm Chaney, which is a great star player, especially on Necro. So, and he's got this 4-strength ghoul, Jared Evans, with block and guard and 4-strength. So he's actually got a pretty beefy
Who also got MVP?
team, who did get MVP on a level. I don't think we got a ton of removals. It was just like a KO a piece or something like that in the
You
first.
guys are actually. I'll let you tell you. I'll let you say, what was the thing that Kanye said to Taylor Swift? I'll let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
But I gotta tell you, Necromantic Newbies had the best game ever. No,
Yeah.
you guys are
he
tied
did.
on breaks. You're tied on breaks. You're tied on removals. You had
Yeah.
6 more blocks, but you only had 14 yards running and 4 yards passing to his 60.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a reasonable chance to score. And I forget what it was, but I failed something that was silly. I think it was like the last dodge or something like that. Or a throw. I forget what it was, but yeah, I think it was I had a reasonable chance to score there in the first half, and that was it. And we just had, especially so 4 Kaz for me in this game inflicted on Necro Newbies. 2 of those came in the last turn and a half. So there was like a very bloodless game where we were trying to remove pieces and get punches, and he did a really good job of isolating my Franks out of a play.
And was it a lot of region happening in this one?
There was actually, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't remember how many. I can check that. I think I had 2 or 3 myself. 2 successes for me, 3 successes for him. So yeah, that's probably why there's not anything that stuck, including a couple deaths.
So the other thing that jumps out to me here is it looks like the ball was on the ground like the whole game. You had
Yeah, I don't remember
12%
what
ball
happened there.
possession, and he has 25 in the score. That's
Yeah,
not
I think-
much.
At one point, I tried to do a cutesy throw for a vanity pass to level the ghoul. I think I failed it and then tried to pick it up. I did fail my pickups a ton in the first half, maybe second half. Burned a lot of rerolls on pickups.
Yeah. That might be it.
Man, my memory of this game is really
You got Baby Brain.
not there.
The
3
fabled
for
Baby
5
Brain.
on pickups and 2 for 3 on catches.
You got a pass? You got 4-yard
Yeah,
pass?
I really went. So that's part of what I was talking about. I really went for the vanity pass on the ghoul to get the level before playoffs, and picked up block on him. So that's good. Yeah, so we both had good a Frank and a ghoul that leveled on both sides. So in the one hand I lost. On the other hand, I don't think Kyle was able to play this week. He took a concede
Yep.
loss, which means that I'm still in second place. And he's up against Arabi this week, and I'm up against Lizard Beasts. So it's still kind of up in the air, but it sounds like Kyle's schedule is very limited, so I don't know if he'll get this game in. But
Yeah.
I see here on RebelNet it is scheduled. What's that? Sunday?
Oh, okay.
Sunday. So that's good.
He's doing his Arabi duty.
Yeah.
All
Taking
right.
one in the chops.
Well, we can talk more about the playoff picture and the upcoming games and all that in a second. You anything else you want to cover on this one before we move along?
No, just good levels and help set me up for playoffs if I make it, and for next season if I don't.
And good job, Yoshi, with you dinged up Necro Newbies. Way to
Yeah.
get to win against a good team in
Really,
Jimmy.
he definitely earned it. He played very well considering how beat up his team is, and he still does have a good core of players there.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say is he has that Mighty Blow Wolf. I don't know when he picked that up. That's
I think it's
that's really
new.
nice. Yeah, no, the level is new. I guess I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but he's really spent this game trying to get Kaz on him and put himself in a surfable position with the Wolf, and I got him off the pitch for half the game. Man, like a couple weeks ago, I was thinking there's no way you don't re-roll after the season, but at this point, I think, I mean, we can talk about this next week, but I think, maybe we'll see. Maybe see how it goes next week, and then go into the off season.
So you telling me there's a chance?
Yeah. Next up, we got Culinary Delights 2-1 win over Lizard Beasts.
Yeah, and once again, Trox hung up his spurs. And look at Sate Cambing.
He nearly pitch cleared the Lizard Beasts here. But
Did he?
nothing was permanent. Only 2 missed next games and like a billion badly hurts. Look at those Kaz numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, 54 blocks to 21, leading to 15 armor breaks, which is not that. I mean, it's not that little, but it's not that many. To 6, but those 15 armor breaks turned into 8 injuries and 5 KOs. That's all, but only 2 stuns in the game.
Right. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, and Lizard Beasts ended up with 10 Kaz received, so they had some failed dodges, I'm assuming, or fouls.
As he's wont to do.
Yeah.
That Agi-Tusaurus is dead now too, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry.
He had
Sorry, Kiwi birds.
2 Sauruses this game, and
Oof.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
That would
9,
explain
6.
the breaks to injuries and KOs ratio if it was all skinks out there.
He had 6 loner skinks and a helmet wolf, the chainsaw,
And 0%
got-
ball possession.
badly hurt.
Just a brutal. This looks like a brutal game. I'm almost impressed that he has 6 armor breaks on 21 blocks with that kind of lineup.
Yeah.
So he went out there. Gex Jr. picking up a touchdown. It's nice. It's a. So you said there's no significant injuries, just missed next games and badly hurts, right?
Yeah, and actually, one of the missed next games was on a loner skink, so he's got 1 missed next game block skink named Kermit for his game against me next week.
I got a Rackle Kermit. You should just call the skinks Kermits. That's a good. They do kind of look like Kermit when you think about it, with the eyes and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's most of what there is to say here. I mean, like Kate Sambling or Sate. God, I can never say that name. It's like the trickiest. I put an L in there every time with a ling.
Yeah.
Sate Cambing.
Nate
getting 9.
rambling.
Yeah. Garosha doing what Garosha does. Shosha getting their touchdown. I don't know why I say her. It just seems like a girl's name. So Shosha's a girl goat. Tully Boy adding another touchdown, and then a couple other, Kaz to go around. This is a very nice game for Culinary Delights, and man, they really bounced back from that number you did on them early in the season when he hung up his spurs.
Yeah, 4 Kaz for Garosha this game. 8 SPP. 2 Kaz for Sate Camping plus MVP. So, like, not only good SPP, but SPP in nice places.
Yeah, great game for him. Rough continuation for Lizard Beasts. Well, hey, Kiwi Birds, respond to the thing. Let me know if you're sticking around or not, or what your plans are, or just how you felt about the season and the show, and everybody else. Do that shit too.
His roster has 4 lizards on it for next week.
Yeah. Well, that means he gets almost everything back for next season, right?
What do you mean?
Well, worst case, he can only take missed next games on everything else on the 4, so he'll only be down 4 pieces going into next season.
He's got 5 players total on his team. 4 of them coming into next season.
That doesn't sound like a
next
continuation.
game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good pieces. There's just not enough of them.
Lizards. The lizard curse. Next up, we have a bye, so we don't need to spend any time talking about it. That is Film Flares over Cowboy Dorse. You already addressed it. Kyle is not able to play. Maybe we'll get him back this upcoming week, but we don't know yet. Yes, Kyle has been busy boy. Professional life's been kicking up. Yeah. And Holes, is pretty much locked in anyway into playoffs, which we'll talk about in a second. So this was relatively meaningless. I guess it was more meaningful to Kyle.
Yeah, it could have been put him in a position to challenge for the playoffs.
Yeah, but since you lost, I think it basically, the percentage is completely unchanged versus what it was even 2 weeks ago or last week.
Yeah.
When Draenor sent me those. But yeah, who we got next?
Next up, we got O'Rabbi's Rebel Rage Quit versus Cantankerous Cretaceans, a 2-0 win for O'Rabbi.
And a legal concede.
It was.
I think O'Rabbi said it was his 3rd legal concede with this team, which is
He's got
pretty remarkable.
a bedpost next to his computer, and he pulls out his serrated battle knife and just puts another notch in the bedpost.
He does.
Every time he gets a legal concede.
And then what's he do every time he gets a kill?
That's just...
He just pulls one of his teeth out, makes a necklace.
Puts another fingernail clipping into the bucket next to his bench. I don't know. What's something that is...
Something less notable.
Less notable, yeah.
Now, I don't think there's a ton to say here. This is a pretty classic Arabi win where he fully removes the other team. But
one thing to say is that he got a legal concede and took no permanent damage.
Yep.
0. Mostly badly hurts. He's going to have 1 miss next game, and that's it. Everything else is badly hurts. And watching this game, I watched a fair amount of this game. He was able to remove the sources pretty well, but the skinks were, until the end, he was chasing them down all over the field, getting knockdowns, getting fouls on them, and just could not break their armor. It was pretty funny to watch, but he was getting real frustrated for a rabbi. But
this is I catch his games a lot. I did not manage to catch this one.
This is, if it's still there, I'm assuming it's still there. It's worth a watch.
But Bus is a Groon brother. We've known him a long time.
Yeah.
So I got to read the Discord chats and stuff after the game, and he was over the moon that his team, especially for lizards, claws. I mean, I feel like orcs are kind of in a similar situation, but lizards really get messed up by claw. Like, you've seen so many great lizard teams, Eisen Mikes, a bunch of others, just get destroyed by being around claw too long. And this had to be a game that you were scared of if you were Bus in the Cretaceans.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was fine. Came out good.
Yeah. He did pick up a couple extra bonus skanks or rabbi punching bags for this game, just to help keep guys safe.
Rabbi buffer, and what was the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or rabbi insurance.
Insurance, yeah. All right. What do we got next?
Next, 1-2 pass, 1-0 win over Starstruck. Captain Deuce.
Oh yeah, Captain Deuce sent me a message on this one and said not only did James Typhoon play a great game, and James Typhoon's a good coach, so no surprise there. But most importantly, he says there was a great turn 11 or a little later Chaos passing play into a Chaos Warrior touchdown. So that would appear to be the play of the game, or the main thing to be aware of. Starstruck's rough season continues, but I don't know, any substantial damage out of this one?
Niggled Mama the second,
Ugh.
which is unfortunate, and armor bust on Torres the second for a lineman, which is not a big deal, rookie lineman, but
Yeah, this Torres is not the amazing
Not-
Torres he had before.
not holding it up.
Yeah. I mean, the good news for Starstruck here, and we can talk more about this next week, so we don't need to go into too much detail. It is a rich free agency for humans this year.
Yeah.
And he's going to be right up there with Moniker, up at the top of the draft list. So he's going to be able to get some great pieces to slide on in here.
Yeah. Start
Cheeseburger
saving
Eddie.
money if you haven't.
Yeah. But it looks like a solid win for One True Path. James Typhoon finishing strong. Anything else worth noting? 23 blocks to 37. Pretty good injuries or removals for One True Path. A kill for Starstruck.
Yeah, it was Mercenary Beastman.
Ah.
Still nice.
Yeah, it's nice to rack up the kill, even if it's not as meaningful to your opponent.
It was well placed on either Turlemaine or Vicky Valancourt.
Yeah, it looks like One True Path. If I had to infer something from the numbers here, it looks like he probably started on offense and basically whittled Starstruck down because Starstruck had almost no ball possession. So there was probably not a lot.
One Shoe got 3 Kaz himself this game. That's the Pylon Warrior.
Yep. Yeah, Nipper's pretty scary. Now, I think One True Path may or may not be sticking with us next season. You're another one, James Typhoon. Fill out the survey. Let me know what's up. If you're going to be around. Or you're going to re-roll into Kislev or something like that. That's the hot new re-roll option. All the kids are about it.
I'm going to show Super Federal.
Yeah. Can't let Superfed get all the glory, all the Kislev glory. By all means, all of you guys playing Chaos, please re-roll into Kislev. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I support it 100%. Who we got next?
Next up, we got Flyboys 3-0 win over Jazz Poison.
Flyboys just being mean. Rough it up. Potentially the all-time death leader in the history of REL, or maybe even Rebel, in Jazz Poison. Which we will definitely talk about next week. I got a couple awards for Jazz Poison this year. But yeah, Flyboy's got to, stretch out the legs, oil up the old biceps, punch a bunch of goblins to the tune of 34 blocks to 19 in favor of the humans, 17 armor breaks on those 34 blocks versus 6 for Jazz Poison, leading into 5 KOs and 5 injuries versus 1 and 1 on the other side. And I think that's about all you need to know. He was just beating up on a little cripple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Well,
I was kidding.
he's beating up on a little cripple, and Nuffle rewarded him
Big
mightily for this one. Huge. Can I just mention? I'm going to mention it, even though we're going to do deep dives on these teams next week. He leveled his Ogre, got block.
Ooh.
So it's a block, guard, stand firm, break, tackle Ogre. So like
Huge.
the 11th hour with that Ogre, he rolled a double. Also rolled a double on Lance the Blitzer, but it was 6s, picked up strength.
Lance P. Sijan 2.0. I love how all these human teams have numbers next to their guys.
Yeah, John Uda Boyd, 5.0. He's been around the block.
It's true.
And then his other Blitzer rolled plus Agi, so he's got a double Ogre, plus Strength Blitzer, plus Agi Blitzer in one game. That's
it gotta be over the moon.
ultimate turnaround. End of the season too, so now you're like, you see how this is shaping up for going into the off season and make some decisions. But now you got like a good baseline.
Yeah, and if you got some money, and I don't know if you do.
It's got 10K.
Save your money after your next game, because and maybe you can get some trade-in value, but I doubt it. But there are some nice pieces that you may miss out on.
Yeah.
Should have JJ cashed it, Flyboys, but what can you do?
Maybe that's something we would have mentioned if we were here, but we weren't. We left you at the dance we left you at the hot skate with the rollerblades on.
But clearly, Nuffle appreciated his commitment to staffing his team, and rewarded him with some fantastic levels. So good on you.
Yeah.
Space Lion, love you forever. Sorry. Way to play out these last games.
Yeah, no real damage to Space Lion. Missed next game on his troll. Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, if your team is like a trash bag full of old diapers, and someone kicks it, is it really any damage?
Yeah, maybe you got poop on your bag.
That's true. And I think this last one is another. Yes, this is a concede.
Oh, right, because Tim's on vacation or work or something.
Yeah, he's traveling, I think, for the next month or something like that. So, no Tim. Free concedes. Fallen Wonders have to be kind of happy not to have to play Dwarves. That's never a good matchup. So it helps them get healthy and get some, get a couple nice...
some levels.
Yeah, Okipuss. Looks like she might have gotten one of the MVPs.
Yep, and then 729 2018 picked up one and got a level. It's my favorite player name.
It's a good name. I believe this is a rebuy of 729 2018.
The first one
two, yeah.
Died
in
the first game. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So should we pop on over and check out the leaderboards?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna be on top. That's all my eyes can see. Victory is mine. Yeah, surprisingly. I've been laying, waiting for your next mistake. I put in work and watch my status escalate.
All right, and I think it's pending Kyle's last game, and if he's able to play, and if he's able to beat or survive a Robbie, is pretty much the only discussion in terms of the playoffs here.
Yeah, at the top of the table, it's just me and Kyle. Touchdown differential is pretty close, and we did tie in our head-to-head, I think.
Right. You would need to lose. He would need to win just to tie the records.
If that happened, then he would win the tiebreaker because of the losses. So theoretically, he's still in.
Oh yeah, it's losses, not wins. Oh,
right,
that's interesting.
Loss count. Yeah, so he's got a bunch more draws and fewer wins, but fewer losses.
Okay.
Would be 2. It would be a loss differential of 2. If that was So yeah, so I mean he's still technically in it.
Yeah. So in terms of percentages, and I mentioned before, it's largely unchanged since last time Drainar sent me percentages, which we did not even roll out because I wasn't here, and I'm sorry. But you are so Film Flayers, naturally, they're 100%. They're in. 10 wins, fantastic season for them.
Points,
yeah. You are at 67.167% to make the playoffs. Kyle and Cowboy Dwarves is 32.833% to upset you and take it away. So largely unchanged, given that you both lost this week. And nobody else is in range, even though Fallen Wonder's sitting there with 6 wins. The 5 losses, I guess, and the lack of ties is probably the big difference there. On the other end of the scale, looking at the relegation, and a subject of much interest to many people has been a Robbie. He does not appear to be that close to relegation. Really, you need Tim to win, who I think is an automatic loss and bye.
So the top is pretty clear cut. From position 4 through 14, there's like a 2-game difference. It's 19 points to 11 points at the bottom.
There's
It's
only
so
one game
tight.
left.
Yeah, but I mean, like in terms of like the amount of movement that could happen in this bottom 2/3 of the is pretty significant. I guess I
Yeah.
haven't looked at what the actual matchups. How I haven't like sketched out how that would actually play out, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody in like the top half of the table could potentially fall. No, actually, no, they couldn't do it. 16 points to 11 would be
I don't think so.
too much.
So right now, a 12 will have you in the discussion for being relegated.
Right.
Arabi's at 15, so if all three 12s won and Arabi lost, that could put him down into relegation range. But even then, the touchdown differentials don't look great for any of those 12-point teams. At the bottom, being Things Doors Hate, Lizard Beasts, Jazz Poison, who's re-rolling, and then Starstruck below. So I don't think it's very likely Arabi gets relegated here. I think he continues to be the specter of the Fightin' Fours, which maybe is most apropos.
He had to go ahead and legal concede Basunda there, didn't he? Ruin his relegation chances.
That's right. Given that, well, I mean, it sounds like Bus wasn't really in a position to maybe win that game anyway. But he's still up at the top of or not at the top, but he's up in the pack of non-relegation risks. So yeah, like Trox, Yoshi, Bus, Klepto Knight with Flyboys, Arabi, James Typhoon even are probably all relatively safe from relegation. James Typhoon is maybe the closest risk.
Yeah, anybody with 15 points, I think, could technically.
Yeah, things could go wrong, but it would require a lot of winning from these bottom four teams.
Right.
Or three of the bottom four, the 12-point teams. Tim, Kiwi Birds, or Space Lion. And I do not know how rerolls affect relegation as well. If, say, Jazz Poison and Lizard Beasts re-roll, do they then say, okay, we're going to relegate the three active teams?
From what I understand, if it rerolls guaranteed reroll, guaranteed promotions and relegations are not affected by who ahead of you or behind you is promoted or rerolls.
I don't believe that's true when it comes to advancement, at least in the upper divs.
So from what I heard, and this was after last season, from Metal, if your record dictates that you're relegated, you get relegated. That
I believe.
But
promotions, I think, have to do with vacancies, and I know that playoffs mess with that, and some people jump. But I do think, especially in like Div 1 and 2, where there's often a lot of rerolls, and this year there are a lot of rerolls, I think there might be more movement.
So I think you'll definitely get promoted if you're at the top, and you would have been qualified for promotion. It's just how far up do you fall?
Right. Do you soar? I think that's the word you're looking for. How high can your wax wings take you? All right. Well, either way, it's an interesting picture. I think we have a lot of fun relegation action. It's been a rough. The Fightin' Fours lived up to its name this year. A lot of teams got myrtleated. A few teams survived, and a couple teams thrived. Yeah, but not many. This was rough for almost everybody involved. Even you in a playoff position had a pretty rough run to get there.
Oh yeah, I lost my best player 3 games into the season.
Yeah,
it's not ideal.
No, but you're gonna get to maybe see the big stage unless Kyle snakes it from you. So we'll see.
I think the only person that got out relatively unscathed was Holes.
Oh yeah.
And even then, he took an armor bust on Lassie. So, not totally unscathed, but...
He's still walking on sunshine.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so should we go make some picks for our final week?
Yeah, let's do it.
Took an L, but you're not a bounce back, boy. I've been broke as hell, catch the check and bounce back. D-Town LAX, every week I bounce back. If you a real one, then you know how to bounce back.
Alright, you want to make some picks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First up, Fallen Wonders versus Necro Newbies.
And this is an interesting one. Fallen Wonders are naturally going to be nice and healthy coming off their bye. Necro Newbies, I guess, are mostly healthy. You didn't do any real damage in that game, right?
I didn't do any damage, I don't think, but he did pick up. I don't know if he's been able to rebuy all of his players. You can take a quick look. He does still only have one werewolf.
Yeah, I think Fall's just in a healthier state, and naturally that's a pretty good team. So I'd go ahead and take the Amazons in this one. How about you?
It's a good pick. What's the TV differential going to be there? Is he going to be able to get Wilhelm Chaney?
Looks like he's given up about 200.
1490 to no, he's not really going to be able to. Yeah, I think I think Fall's going to have this.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
just like a wizard and a babe or something like that difference.
Yeah. It's pretty close. I think he'd have to dip into his pocket for it if he could afford it at all. I don't know if that's worth it. But yeah.
The ladies it is. Alright, who's up next?
Next up is Things Dwarfs Hate versus Jazz Poison, which Tim's supposed to be back, right?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Let's assume not. So I think Jazz Poison gets a completely useless bye out of this.
Yeah.
But you know what? Everybody just gets a week off. And they get to forget about this season.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a bye win for Jazz Poison, unless Tim, surfs in on a surfboard from the Bahamas or wherever the hell he is. So yeah, next I guess it's the human off.
Yeah, finally.
Finally. And these are always, I love human versus human games. They're always real fun to watch because there's so much speed on the field and a good bit of punchiness. Who you liking in this one?
Man, Flyboy's just got all those good level ups this past game, but even still, Starstruck is better development. He is missing Mama, so that's a bummer. I think
he's getting a wizard.
I'm gonna go with because of the difference.
Yep. Starstruck also not a lot of cash in the bank on this one.
Yeah. I think he rebought some players, right?
It must be, yeah. Must have replaced some players. We should look at some trade-ins on the player market because it is fantastic for humans this year.
Oh yeah, it's very flush. I think I'm gonna go with the Flyboys actually, though.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'll say that the Wizard is a difference maker here, especially with pretty good development on Starstruck. And Capadoose has been with us a long time, so I'm gonna give him the old vote of confidence.
Oh, I had that backwards. I thought in my head, I thought Flyboy was getting the Wizard.
No, the Wizard's going to Starstruck in this one. They are 16 or 160 point underdogs.
Underdogs, yeah. You know what? I'm still gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the Flyboys. I think Flyboys gonna take it. We'll be on opposite sides of this one.
Yeah. Button heads and making our beds.
Button heads. Unbutton your head.
Next up, we got busting his lizard crustaceans. James Typhoon.
Yep.
And I guess this is his last of his claw dwarf gauntlet. Who you liking in this one?
For Bus?
Yeah. Got through a Robbie. In generally okay shape. But I guess he's got a couple missed next games in this one, right?
Bus
just the one.
Just the one, I think. He is giving up a 180 team value, so Wizard plus.
Yeah.
And he's missing his piling on Lizard Saurus. So that's unfortunate, but man, Man, I think that's a tough matchup for Bus with the TV differential the way it is. I think I'm going to give it to One True Path, but I think it could very easily swing towards Basunda.
I agree. I think this is a real tough matchup going both ways. So I'm going to do my weekly tie. I think I'm going to throw onto this game. I could very much see this being a 1-1 game.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Rebel Rage Quit versus Cowboy Dwarfs. Which
Yeah.
is scheduled, so I'm assuming they're planning to play it.
It would appear. I do think Kyle and Cowboy Dwarves are as well suited to playing Arabi and Rebel Rage Quit as anyone. Much like, Tim in his game with them kind of had the upper hand in the first half. I think the coin flip is actually very important in this game.
Yeah.
And I almost say you give the win to whoever gets the coin flip and receives the ball first.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and pick Kyle in this one. I think this is one of the teams that can actually do the job against Arabi and his murder chorfs.
Yeah.
How about you?
I agree. If the game gets played, I think Kyle's got a decent chance to win it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's hope it happens, and if not, it's all good. Cause they're dwarfs, and who wants to watch a bunch of dwarfs anyway? All right, who's next?
Next up, we got Film Flayers versus Culinary Delights version 2.
I think I'm gonna give old Troxy this one because I think Holes is gonna hole up, as it were, and protect his guys for his upcoming playoff run.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I could see that happening as well. Film Flayers got 390 in the bank, I noticed. So replacing any players he loses. Wants to be poised. But I think Colin Delights could take this one pretty easily. And it's not like Film Flayers is going to be trying to protect it for a playoff berth or something. So
Right. So is that your pick?
yeah, it's my pick. Lock it in.
Double Trox. Double barrel Trox picks. All right, and
Nah.
last up we got you. And
Lizard Beast.
what's left of the Lizard Beast?
Yeah. Yeah, so four losers. I think I have a good chance to win it. I don't like to pick my teams, but I think it's a pretty solid chance. He has 170k. He could buy a Saurus or two. I think he could buy 2 Sauruses if he wanted.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, he's got Gexa Jr., his one-turner. Ugh, you got a lot of skanks to punch in this one.
Yeah, that's my favorite kind of things to punch. Actually, that's not true because Moon died to a double skull on a simple 2-die block, frenzy block against the loner skink.
Is that against
I'm
Buzz?
traumatized. Yeah, against Buzz. Just fucking just a
I forgot
loner
that Buzz
skink.
did it.
And I just was like, oh, he marked Moon with a rookie skink in my backfield. That's like, okay, I'll take the free injuries. Fucking skull dead. No wizard. No regen.
So no wolf blocks in this one?
I gotta get some wolf blocks in. I got Paris is really falling behind, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pick you. I mean, it's no offense to Kiwi birds, but 4 lizards is not a lot of lizards. And even with all those loner skinks, of course, the one-turner is probably. I bet you he puts a point on the board. But I think that's about it.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the nod there.
All right.
And that does it. That's that wraps our penultimate episode of the Punchmans Report for season 9.
Sweet.
So we will. Well, I guess we'll call it a day, right here. And we'll be back next week with a big finale episode. We're gonna have awards. We're gonna have prizes. We're gonna have polls. We're gonna look at all the teams. We're gonna talk about our dreams and other things. And maybe we'll look at the Hall of Fame too.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you, Jimmy, as always, for hanging out and running through stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you guys at home.
Most times.
All times.
Some of the times.
Many of the times.
As often as I am able.
Yeah, well, the last one's my fault, so I take full responsibility for that. But hey, your kid only has a birthday at a pinball arcade every so often, so you gotta do it.
Take the chances when you get them.
That's right. I figured out that I can mortify a room of 11-year-olds if I do that backpack kid dance from the Katy Perry video. you know the one. Now they tell me, and I didn't know this. They tell me that's called flossing, which I come from as you might tell from the background music of this show, I come from an old school hip hop background where flossing has a totally different meaning. But nowadays, when the kids say flossing, they're talking about that backpack kid dance. So if you really want to mortify a room full of 11-year-olds, just do that backpack kid dance.
And then be counter-mortified when they tell you what it's called.
Well, yeah. I just go, that's not right. I'm like, you don't know nothing, old man.
My favorite thing to do to a room full of 11-year-olds is dab, like, ultra non-ironically.
Yeah.
They just fucking can't handle it.
Nope.
They
We did a
explode.
little of that, too. We were talking about dabbing. Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, good seeing everybody. Sorry for last week.
Yeah.
Glad to be back. And we're going to come back strong and wrap it up next week. So bring your hip waders for all the juicy content.
Yeah,
Right.
and your corsets. No, that's not a corset. What's the thing that you put around your brace? Your back brace.
Yeah.
Why did I call it corset?
you're trying to hide that belly. Bring your back brace for all the heavy lifting,
Yeah.
for all the content.
You're gonna be tired.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm holding
chumps.
it up.
Wimp
So-
nerds.
Yeah.
All right. Later, everybody.
Take it easy.
Leftovers. I only eat hot, freshly prepared food. Anything left over, I throw off the balcony.
Nope. I live off leftovers. If I only have to order once and eat that for a week, I'm fine with that.
Might as well just
Unfortunately, I never make it that far.
rummage around through dumpsters and find your food. Same thing. Oh no, I lost
Excuse me.
Jimmy.
Nope, I'm here. I just yawned at the worst time.
That's okay.
Um,
All right, you ready to roll?
sure.
Well, that doesn't sound very confident.
Well, I'm saving myself for the show. I'm eating one last fry.
Can't expend that energy too soon. Get all run out.
And then, yeah, if you buy, yeah, then, yeah. Yeah,
I think